Good morning, students. You all know very well the application of derivatives is one of the topic in the calculus. The calculus is having weightage of 32 marks in the section A of ISC board examination. Roughly, you can expect about 10 marks weightage for the application of derivatives, in which today's session you are going to learn the tangents and normals and increasing decreasing function. These two concepts today we'll try to complete. So before going to the concept of the tangents and normals, we should have a previous knowledge, the basic idea of the first principle of differentiation, as well as basic concepts of coordinate geometry. So just we'll see what is the first principle of differentiation. Okay. Let y is equal to f of x be a continuous function, and a delta x is increment in x, correspondingly, the increment in y is delta y. So a delta y is equal to f of x plus delta x minus f of x, and incremental ratio delta y by delta x is equal to f of x plus delta x minus f of x by delta x. These concepts already are learned in the class 11. Now, as delta x approaches to 0, the limiting value of the incremental ratio, limit delta x tends to 0, delta y by delta x is equal to limit delta x tends to 0, f of x plus delta x minus f of x by delta x is defined as a derivative of the function y with reference to x. So I consider everyone knows this concept very well. Using this concept, we'll find what is the slope of the tangent to a curve. Okay. And further, you need to know a basic idea of the coordinate geometry. The slope of a straight line. What is the slope of a straight line? What is the definition of a slope? The slope of a straight line is the tangent of an angle measured from x-axis to the straight line is the slope of the straight line. Okay. So if you draw roughly x-axis and y-axis, and if you draw a straight line, and if you measure the angle in the anti-clockwise direction theta, which is angle between x-axis and straight line, then tan theta is the slope of the straight line. Okay, so and it is denoted by m. Once if you know the slope, then how to find the equation of a straight line? The first form of the equation of a straight line is y is equal to mx plus c, where m is the slope of the straight line and c is the y-intercept. And if we know a point x1, y1 on the line, say a p x1, y1 is a given point on the line, and the slope is know that m. What is the equation of a straight line and the point slope form? A point slope form of equation of a straight line. Is y minus y1 is equal to m into x minus x1. And if two straight lines are perpendicular to each other, what is the condition? The product of their slopes is equal to -1. So let us say M1 is the slope of the one straight line and M2 is the slope of the another straight line. If the two straight lines are perpendicular to each other, the product of their slopes is equal to -1. So with the help of this relation, we can find the slope of the one line, that is M2 is equal to -1 by. So if we know the slope of one straight line is, let us say, 5 units, then what is the slope of the straight line which is a perpendicular to it? -1 by 5. Okay. Using these concepts, there's a first principle of derivative as well as these coordinate geometry concepts. Will continue now. Okay. Now, the geometrical interpretation of the derivative at a point on the curve. Here, let us take a given curve y is equal to f of x. P is a point x comma f of x, and for convenience sake, I have located the point Q taking x plus h, f of x plus h, where h is a negligibly small quantity. H is a negligibly small quantity. Small. Okay. Now, what is this line which intersects the curve? The line which intersects the curve is a secant, and PQ is a chord to the curve. Now, PQ is a chord to the curve. Chord. Then what is the slope of chord PQ? Since we know the points P and Q, if we know the 2 points, what is the slope of the straight line joining those 2 points? y2 minus y1 by x2 minus x1, which is nothing but the difference of ordinates by difference of abscissa. Using this concept, if you find the slope of PQ, that is f of x plus h minus f of x by x plus h minus x. And for the simplification, xx gets eliminated. You get f of x plus h minus f of x by h is the slope of PQ. Okay. Now, as h reduces to 0, as h tends to 0, if h tends to 0, this value h approaches to 0, what happens to this point Q? The point Q moves towards point P, isn't it? As h approaches to 0, the point Q moves towards point P. So when h is very, very, very close to 0, the point Q almost merges with point P. This tangent reduces to, this chord reduces to tangent at point P. When h approaches to 0, the point Q approaches to point P, then the chord PQ reduces to tangent at P. Is this concept is clear? So when h approaches to 0, the point Q moves towards point P. That means the chord PQ reduces to tangent at P. Then limit h tends to 0. So as h tends to 0, the slope of PQ is, already we found out slope of PQ is f of x plus h minus f of x by h. F of x plus h minus f of x by h. So now as h approaches to 0, the slope of PQ reduces to a slope of tangent. Slope of tangent at P to the curve. So now From this, if you observe this limit h tends to 0, f of x plus h minus f of x by h is a first derivative, a first principle. By using the first principle of derivatives, is it dy by dx? If you take the function y is equal to f of x, what is its derivative dy by dx? Equivalent to a limit h tends to 0, f of x plus h minus f of x by h, isn't it? So that means we can say that the derivative of the function, first derivative of the function is the slope of the tangent to the curve at a particular point. Okay, once if you know the slope of the tangent and the point of contact, we can find the equation of a straight line. Okay, so we'll go to the next point. Okay, now you have learned the derivative of the function, that is f dash x or dy by dx at a given point pxy is equal to slope of the tangent to the curve. Now, the slope of the tangent to the curve is m. If you consider m is equal to tan theta is equal to dy by dx. So then what is the equation of a tangent? If you take the point P is here x1, y1, x1, y1, then the equation of the tangent is y minus y1 equal to a dy by dx into x minus x1, or y minus y1 equal to m into x minus x1 is the equation of a tangent. Okay, now what is the equation of a normal? A normal is a straight line which is a perpendicular to the tangent and passing through the point of contact. So in this diagram you can observe what is a tangent. This Pn is a tangent to the curve, sorry, normal to the curve. Pn is a normal to the curve, which is a perpendicular to the tangent and passing through the point of contact Px1y. Since we know the slope of the tangent is a dy by dx, slope of the tangent is a dy by dx, slope of the tangent is dy by dx. What is the slope of its perpendicular? The slope of its perpendicular is minus 1 by dy by dx. Minus 1 by dy by dx. And the point of contact is x1, y1. Thereby, the equation of a normal at point P x1, y1 is y minus y1 is equal to minus 1 by dy by dx into x minus x1. So now, equation of a tangent and equation of a normal. So we have used the basic concept of the straight line, one point form, point slope form of the equation of a straight line. Y minus y1 is equal to m into x minus x1. Okay. Next. So now, altogether, what you have learned? You have learned the derivative of the function represents slope of the tangent to the curve. Suppose if the derivative is equal to 0, if the derivative equal to 0, that means the slope of the tangent equal to 0. If the slope of the tangent equal to 0, what is the nature of the straight line? The straight line parallel to x-axis. If the slope of the tangent equal to 0, the tangent is a parallel to x-axis. The next possibility, the slope is infinity. If the slope is infinity, or dx by dy equal to 0, then the tangent is a parallel to y-axis, or you can say a perpendicular to x-axis. Okay, the next point. So one possibility dy by dx can be 0, other possibility dy by dx can be infinity. The other possibility, the slope can be positive or negative. So if the slope is positive, dy by dx is positive. That means already we defined the slope is nothing but the tangent of an angle from the x-axis to the straight line measured in the positive direction. Okay, that means tan theta is positive. This tan theta is positive. Tan theta is a positive in first quadrant. That means a theta is acute angle. Theta is less than 90 degrees. If theta is less than 90 degrees, the slope will be positive. That means tan theta is positive. The next possibility is the slope can be negative. If the slope is negative, the tan theta is negative. That means a theta lie between 90 degrees to 180 degrees. Or you can say a pi by 2 radians to pi radians. These concepts to be remembered. Okay, using these basic concepts, we'll solve few problems so that the concept becomes more clear to all. Okay, we'll take this problem. Find the points on the curve y is equal to 4x cube minus 3x plus 5 at which the tangent lines are perpendicular to the line x plus 9y plus 3 equal to 0. So if you read the question carefully, what is the given information? The equation of a curve is given. Y equal to a 4x cube minus 3x plus 5 and a straight line, that is x plus 9y plus 3 equal to 0. And given that the tangent to the curve is perpendicular to this line. So now tangent to this curve is perpendicular to this line. So can you find the slope of the given line? So write down the given equation in the form of y is equal to mx plus c. That is 9y equal to minus x minus 3. Y equal to minus 1 by 9 of x minus 3 by 9. Then the coefficient of x, that is m, slope equal to minus 1 by 9. This is the slope of the given line. This given line is perpendicular to the tangent. Therefore, the slope of the tangent is a minus of reciprocal of the slope of the given line. That is equal to 9 units. From the given curve, find dy by dx. Dy by dx is equal to 12x square minus 3. Isn't it? If the given function y is equal to x to the power of n, the derivative of the function dy by dx is equal to n into x to the power of n minus 1. So by using this concept, differentiate the given function. Dy by dx is equal to 12x square minus 3. And we know, just now we found out the slope of the tangent equal to 9 units. So thereby, the 12x square minus 3 equal to 9. It implies that 12x square is equal to 12. So x is equal to plus or minus 1. So we found out the abscissa at which the slope of the tangent equal to 9 units. But the question is find the points on the curve. So we found out the abscissa. Now find out ordinate of the point. So at x equal to 1, what is the value of y? Y equal to 4 into 1 cube minus 3 into 1 plus 5. That is equal to 4 minus 3, 1 plus 5, that is equal to 6. One point is 1, 6. That means, what is the meaning of it? The tangent drawn to the curve at 1, 6 is perpendicular to the straight line x plus 9y plus 3 equal to 0. Okay, we'll find out the other point at x equal to minus 1. At x equal to minus 1, y equal to 4 into minus 1 whole cube minus 3 into minus 1 plus 5. So that is minus 4 plus 3 plus 5, which is equal to 4. So thereby the second point is minus 1 comma 4. So at these 2 points, the tangents drawn to the curve are perpendicular to the straight line x plus 9y plus 3 equal to 0. Okay. We'll see one more question. If at each point on the curve y is equal to x cube minus ax square plus x plus 1, the tangents drawn are inclined at an acute angle with the positive direction of the x-axis. Then find the interval in which A lies. So read the question carefully. What is the given information? Y is equal to x cube minus ax square plus x plus 1. And the tangents drawn to this curve are inclined at an acute angle with the positive direction of the x-axis. What is the meaning of this statement? The tangents drawn are inclined at an acute angle with the positive direction of x-axis. What is the meaning of this statement? So that means the theta is less than 90 degrees. It makes an acute angle with reference to x-axis in the positive direction. So that means theta equal to 90. So that means tan theta is always greater than 0. That means the slope of the tangent is greater than 0. The slope of the tangent is always positive. Okay. If the slope of the tangent is positive, find the interval in which the value of A lies. That's the question. Okay. Now find out dy by dx, which is the slope of the tangent to the curve at point pxy. The derivative of x cube, 3x square minus 2ax plus 1. And just now we found out the tangents are drawn inclined at an acute angle. That means slope is positive. Thereby it is a greater than 0. 3x square minus 2ax plus 1 greater than 0. So 3x square minus 2ax plus 1 equal to 0, greater than 0. What it means? Yeah, b square minus 4ac, the discriminant should be, we'll find out the discriminant of this a quadratic function. That is a b square minus 4ac. If b square minus 4ac is less than 0, if b square minus 4ac is less than 0, the coefficient of x square and the function will have the same sign always, right? Now we'll find out b square minus 4ac. Now what is a b square minus 4ac? So that is b square 4a square minus 4 into 3 into 1. If b square minus 4ac is less than 0, that is a 4a square minus 12 less than 0. So a square minus 3 less than 0. Or you can say a plus root 3 into a minus root 3 less than 0. If b square minus 4ac is less than 0, the coefficient of x square and the expression will have the same sign. Since coefficient of x square is plus 3, thereby the expression 3x square minus 2ax plus 1 is also positive. So a plus root 3 into a minus root 3 less than 0. So when it is possible, so if you draw a method of intervals, 0, not to scale if you take plus root 3 and minus root 3 if you take, the interval in which so if a lies in the interval minus root 3 to root 3, this expression will be positive. This dy by dx will be positive. The dy by dx is positive means the slope is positive. So what is the interval in which a lies? Minus root 3 to root 3. If the value of a lies between minus root 3 to root 3, the tangents drawn to the curve will be always, so the slope of the tangent drawn to the curve will be always positive. Yeah, is it clear? We'll go to one more question. If the curve y is equal to 2x cubed minus bx plus a passes through 19, 2 and its slope at x equal to 1 is 5 units, then what are the values of a and b? The given curve is y equal to 2x cubed minus bx plus a, and this curve is passing through the point 19, 2, and its slope at x equal to 1 is 5. Since we know the slope equal to 5 units at x equal to 1, find out dy by dx. Dy by dx is equal to 2 into 3x square, that is a 6x square minus b. At x equal to 1, the dy by dx equal to 6 into 1 square minus b equal to 5. It implies that b is equal to 1. Okay, if b equal to 1, the equation of curve reduces to y into y is equal to 2x cubed minus x plus a. We found the value of b. And then find the value of a also. To find the value of a, if the curve y is equal to 2x cubed minus bx plus a passes through the point 19, 2, that means when x equal to 19, y equal to 2. So substitute 19, 2 in this equation. So 2 is equal to 2 into x cubed 19 whole cube minus 19 plus a. So it implies that a equal to 2 into 19 whole cube minus 19 minus 2. Simplify and write on the value here. Okay. So you need to read the question carefully and try to analyze the question and identify what is the given information and what is required to be calculated. Okay. I hope this tangents and normals concept is clear, and with these examples, illustrations, you have learned, and I can assume that we can solve the problems independently on your own using these concepts. Okay. Now we'll continue the next concept, increasing, decreasing functions. So in the increasing, decreasing functions, first of all, you need to know what is a monotonic function? A monotonic function means a monotonic function is always headed in one direction. It never reverses its direction. A monotonic function means maybe increasing function or maybe a decreasing function. It never reverses its direction. That is called a monotonic function. So a monotonic function in the given interval in an interval AB means it may be an increasing function or decreasing function in that given interval. Okay. And at the same time, a monotonic function can be a increasing function or strictly increasing function. So here I am using the word increasing function and a strictly increasing function. What is the difference between the increasing function and a strictly increasing function? An increasing function means, here just if you observe, as x1, first of all, the increasing function means as x increases, correspondingly y increases, then it's called increasing function. Now, the difference between increasing function and strictly increasing function, you can observe from this. If x1 less than x2, f of x1 less than or equal to f of x2, f of x1 less than or equal to f of x2, then it is just simply increasing function. So if you observe this curve, at these 2 points, the curve is parallel to x-axis. That means as the value of x is increasing, corresponding the value of y is constant. The value of y is constant. Though altogether it is an increasing function, at some values of x in the given interval, the value of y remains the same. Thereby, it is only increasing function. It is not strictly increasing function. That's the reason we use the word here. We use the terminology inequality, f of x1 less than or equal to f of x2. And as x1 less than x2, if f of x1 less than f of x2, then we say it is a strictly increasing function. If it is less than or equal to, it is simply increasing function. There is a difference between a strictly increasing function and a strictly increasing function. Similarly, you can verify a decreasing function or strictly decreasing function. If you observe in this interval, as the value of x is increasing, the corresponding value of y remains constant. Though x is increasing, f of x1 greater than or equal to f of x2, f of x1 equal to f of x2 in this case for all these values of x in this interval. But altogether, the function is decreasing. So this is called a simply decreasing function. But what is a strictly decreasing function? As x1 less than x2, if f of x1 greater than f of x2, then we say it is a strictly decreasing function. That means as x increases, the correspondingly the value of y should decrease. Then we say it is a decreasing function. Or we can say x and y are inversely proportional. Whereas in the increasing function, x and y are directly proportional. As x increases, y increases. For the increasing function. For the decreasing function, as x increases, y decreases. Okay. We'll move to the next slide. So now from this, if for any given a real valued function, a given interval is AB, for all values of x1 and x2 belongs to in this interval, for a strictly increasing function, So this is the condition to be remembered. X1 less than X2 implies that f of X1 less than f of X2. For a simply increasing function, as X1 less than X2, f of X1 less than or equal to f of X2. Similarly, we can write down a strictly decreasing function when X1 less than X2, f of X1 greater than f of X2. For a decreasing function, X1 less than X2 implies that f of X1 greater than or equal to f of X2. Okay, then what is the constant function? A constant function means always, just we'll go back to previous slide. So if you observe in this interval, either in this interval, f of X1 equal to f of X2. So that means if you say this is the interval AB, in this interval, in the interval AB, the function is a constant. Because for all values of x in the interval AB, f of X1 equal to f of X2. Though x is increasing, the corresponding value of y is constant. So that means f of X1 equal to f of X2. Okay. Now, in the increasing function, a constant function can be considered as an increasing function. Also, a decreasing function depend on the situation. Okay, we'll go to the next slide. So now we'll see the sign of the derivative. So how to verify a given function is an increasing function or decreasing function with reference to sign of the derivative. So if you observe this case 1, the curve is increasing curve. The curve is increasing curve. As x increases, correspondingly y is increases. For an increasing curve, if you draw a tangent, the tangent makes an acute angle with reference to x-axis. That means the slope of the tangent is greater than 0 for an increasing function. The slope of the tangent is positive or greater than 0 for an increasing function. If you observe the second diagram, the curve is a decreasing curve. As x increases, correspondingly the value of y decreases. If you draw a tangent at any point on this decreasing curve, it makes an obtuse angle with reference to x-axis. That means the tan theta is negative or slope of the tangent is negative. So what is the inference we can draw? If the slope is negative, the curve is decreasing. If the slope is positive, the curve is increasing. This is one of the most important points to be remembered. If the slope is positive, the curve is increasing. If the slope is negative, the curve is decreasing. Slope is positive, negative. The slope can be 0, slope can be infinity also. Then what happens? Next case. If the slope equal to 0, already you have learned the tangent drawn at the point the slope equal to 0 is parallel to x-axis. So that if you observe the curve, this curve is increasing up to the point, if you say this is a point P, and ceases to increase and begins to decrease. That means up to the point P, it is increasing curve. From the point P to, say this is a point Q, if you write, P to Q, it is a decreasing curve. Okay. At slope equal to 0, the tangent drawn parallel to x-axis, and at this point P and Q, the status of the curve changes from one state to other state, increasing state to decreasing state, or decreasing state to increasing state. So using this concept, we can find out the intervals in which the given function is increasing or decreasing. Okay, here P to Q, the interval P to Q, the function is decreasing. From Q to, if you say this is the point R, Q to R, the function is increasing function. So on, further also. Okay. Now we'll go to the next case, case 4. If the slope equal to dy by dx equal to infinity, the tangent drawn to the curve is perpendicular to x-axis or parallel to y-axis. Okay. So using these concepts, now how to solve the problems means how to find the intervals at which the given curve is increasing or decreasing. Just if you summarize this concept, the f dash x is greater than 0, the function is increasing function in the interval A, in the closed interval. If f dash x is less than 0, for all x belongs to open interval AB, then f of x is a decreasing function in the closed interval. If f dash x equal to 0, it becomes a constant function because the tangent is a parallel to x-axis. If the tangent is a parallel to x-axis, the ordinate is a constant at all entire line. Thereby, the function becomes a constant function in such case. Now, how to identify? What is the working rule for it? The working rule to identify in the intervals in which the given function is increases or decreases. Okay. The first one is you need to identify the function and the interval AB, closed interval AB. Then differentiate the function and equate to 0. Differentiate the function and equate to 0. Then find the discrete values of x. By solving dy by dx equal to 0, find the values of x. Then draw a number line, mark given a closed interval AB and the values of x obtained in the previous step. So that means just I will draw a rough number line here. Let us say this is 0. You obtained 2 points, let us say x1 and x2, 2 values you obtained when dy by dx equal to 0. So that means the entire range of minus infinity to plus infinity is divided into 3 intervals. Interval 1, interval 2, interval 3. At x1 and x2, at values x equal to x1 and x2, dy by dx equal to 0. Now you need to verify in these 3 intervals, in which interval the given dy by the given function is increases or decreases. So for which you need to identify a test point in this interval x1 to x2. Take any one value in between x1 and x2. Substitute this value in dy by dx. If dy by dx is positive, in this interval x1 to x2, the given function is increasing function, since dy by dx is positive. Suppose dy by dx is negative, the given function is decreasing in this interval. Similarly, in each interval, you need to identify one test point, find the test value, corresponding test value, verify that whether the test value is positive or negative. If the test value is positive, that means f dash x is positive, the given function is increasing function. If the test value is negative, that means the dy by dx is negative, the function is a decreasing function at that.
Very good afternoon to all present, especially our children. We regret this little inconvenience that we are having at the moment. but we wish that you're safe wherever you are. And we thank you for joining this virtual learning series organized by the CISE. And we hope that whatever is being done is being taken very generously and applied in all your learning and studying. And we hope during this particular period of time that you are safe. This pandemic has caused a lot in terms of a global impact, but we know as our students, we are there for you as the council. And we hope and pray that you people continue to do the good work that you are doing. Learning and studying complement one another. And we know that this particular learning series that the council has organized, especially for all of you good students. Mathematics as a subject is definitely a subject that needs a lot more deliberation. It needs a lot more study. But being a child-oriented and friendly board, we know that you will definitely do justice. We at the council are there for our students, and we thank our panel of experts who've always given us the best. And due to this little technical glitch, we are sorry and apologize for the inconvenience, but the internet today rules the roost, and sometimes these glitches do come forth. So we hope that in a short while, we will be able to continue with this session of mathematics in the virtual learning series that we have. In continuation, we want to wish each and every one of you the very best during these times, and we hope that you will continue to support these virtual learning series and take in as much as you can, because these panel of experts have years of experience, and we know that you will definitely absorb all and make the best of what we offer. We regret this inconvenience caused by a technical glitch, and we assure you that tomorrow we will resume the virtual learning series once again. We apologize for the inconvenience caused, but we assure you that tomorrow we will be back on air once again. Thank you so much. God bless you. Stay safe. Stay blessed.